We're under a week left of the Steam summer sale. You still have room in your budget. I wanted to list some games that I played that I recommend you pick up that are under $5. When a game is that price or lower, it is almost an easy buy for me. Up front, I wanted to say that these are games that are $5 that are on sale. I don't want to give you recommendations that already fit under my easy to buy criteria. Basically, if they're $5 without being on sale, then they're not going to be on the list. And we do have a mix of hidden gems and big hits. I mentioned one of the big hit sales on my list to some folks and somehow they never played it before. But I want to make sure I'm covering my bases. Quick intro, so let's get to talking about those games, and starting with the most unique game control-wise. Before Your Eyes controls the entire time with no button presses, stick movements, or motion controls. It controls with your webcam to watch if your eyes blink. Once they do, the game shifts to a different perspective. Yes, the game itself focuses on the story, but the blinking makes for such an engaging story that triggers weighty emotions. A must-play even when off sale, but you can't miss it when it's 80% off.
Well, no matter how painful it gets, I'm gonna send you there. To start from the very beginning. I need you to remember. And just try to enjoy it this time.
This one has been a hit for me since 2023, and Drink More Glurp is just as fun as it is absurd. You play as aliens who binge watch Earth TV so much, they convince themselves that advertising is the most important part of any sports event. And without context, they aren't wrong. And while they compete in seemingly normal track and field events, random sponsors will impact the events, hence the name involving the fictional soda Glurp. This is a party game that can play up to 20 players. Everyone else watches as the active player tries to do hurdles with their legs scuffed together or shot put with crab arms. A hilarious game that you can teach people young and old. And the game is under $1 at 72 cents. If you are one of the millions of players who have played Peak, I recommend you looking at AggroCrab's first game, Going Under. It is an action roguelite set in the Pacific Northwest, where when a startup company loses funding and falls apart, it is placed below the office main character Jackie is interning in. The employees of the company that go under transform into monsters, and their workplace becomes a dungeon that you must traverse. The weapons at your disposal aren't just typical swords and shields like you come to expect. These are former workplaces, so things like staplers, brooms, and laptops can be used. Very funny and underrated, worth looking at for $4.99. Loop Hero is an odd conglomeration of genres, but not the only one I am recommending today. An idea for it is that you are a hero stuck in a time loop. Not the most unique of themes, but how it does the game is the main character walks around a loop in almost an idle game form, but at the same time you're managing the world in this part of the time loop. The world resets and you can alter the village for some progression benefits. It has the mix of being relaxing and having tensions of an RPG battle. A really cool game if you want something that is somehow strategic and casual simultaneously. Another game for under $1, most people will know Daniel Mullins from Inscription, and that's understandable why. The game left me speechless on multiple occasions. Daniel got to start with Pony Island, and it fits with Inscription in pushing the boundaries you come to expect from games. You are trapped in an arcade cabinet that seems quite bright and cheerful. The titular pony jumps over hurdles to get to the flag like a very basic Mario game. But what makes the game literally devious is that this is an arcade game made and run by the devil himself. Pony Island is a very memorable game in that it is not what it appears in the first minutes of gameplay, like most of Mullen's games. Like Loop Hero, Patch Quest is an odd mix of mechanisms. Roguelite, Metroidvania, Creature Collector, Twin Stick Shooter? Sounds like a mess, but I can assure you personally that it is not. It has a combination of intense, bullet-dodging gameplay with cute animation you'd expect from a Saturday morning cartoon. Catching a new monster isn't the luck of throwing a Pokeball either. It takes the skill of doing rotations around the creature like you're tying up their limbs. It works in a rewarding way that, other than the pure basic genres, there isn't anything like Patch Quest when it is all added up together. We spoke about an odd mix of genres, and you get that in bits with Pureya. This time though, it is through 10-second minigames. Like WarioWare, it is incredibly simple to execute these games, only using the same 2 buttons for over 30 games. You play these games as Pureya to get marbles that she uses to unlock more stuff through a game of pachinko. Play the minigame well and you get more marbles. Pureya is a great game in its simplicity for kids and addictiveness for adults. You rarely think that a game with just 2 buttons can be worth your time, but for $1.50, it's worth it. The tags that you see on the Steam page for Toem are cozy, wholesome, adventure, puzzle, and cute. But I did not expect those things when seeing the black and white aesthetic. Playing the game gives you puzzle solving through photography, which is quite unique. Most people point to Pokemon Snap for a photography game, but here you have no stress of a car moving and knowing exactly what to look for without the time constraint. Rebecca Valentine of IGN said it best about Toem. It's perfect for snuggling under a blanket in a quiet evening with a scented candle and a mug of cocoa to finish off in one content sitting. Imagine a retro Zelda comedy all about committing crimes, and any document you are handed, you rip in half. That is my elevator pitch for Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. The vegetable world around the lead is in chaos. All the while, Turnip Boy never speaks a word and keeps a smile on his face. The game is bite-sized, finishing in around 3 hours, but it is full of laughs. It sets up a great series with Robs a Bank already out, and the spin-off game Steals the Mail coming down the line. Totally worth its $3 price tag. This is the game I referenced in the intro. Most gamers know of Undertale, but I was surprised to hear friends of mine who hadn't played it. For those who don't know much about Undertale, it is a turn-based RPG where you have to avoid their attacks like a bullet hell game. It has the key feature where in a fight, you can choose to slay or spare the enemy. With that, the cast of characters is hilarious, lovable, and memorable. Each character has a personality that shines brightly through their Banjo-Kazooie style vocal sounds. I don't want to spoil too much because the story is worth experiencing on its own.